There'll be a few different lenses people watch this video through. Some people from where I grew up probably won't even recognize this version of me on the screen anymore. I've changed a hell of a lot in the last 6 years because this version of me was built and molded by the demands and the pressure and the stress that comes with the career I chose. 6 years in this game will change you. It forces growth and demands discipline, like not many other things do. Then there's my friends and family. They might be surprised at how serious this all became, and also surprised at the depth of knowledge that I actually have and the intensity that I apply to what I do, because I never show them this side. Then there's the people who have actually followed my work for the last few years. The ones from Cryptonary, the ones on X, the ones who have learned from me, the ones who have made money with me. You've all seen the analysis. You've all seen the way we execute. And you've all seen the proof and the results. But you might not have seen the full process, the discipline, the obsession, and the daily work that comes with it. With all that said, there's only one true goal with all of this. It's to step fully into this industry front-facing and be positioned as somebody who genuinely helps people learn this game the right way, to protect them from all the bullshit out there, the nonsense, the mistakes that I went through early on. For those that do know me, there's a few things you do know about me. I'm hyper-competitive, highly focused, and overly ambitious. And anything I do, I try to win. So if you're in this space, you need to raise your level now, because we're not stopping until we're at the top. And I've already been successful at helping people in the background for years, built a lot of respect in a small ecosystem of individuals. But now we're just taking it global. And the goal's simple: to be the biggest and the best in the world at what we do.
Niggas see the crib and ask who did I steal from? Price tags on making the world feel some.
So that's basically what I'd be doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not that bad really, is it?
So why now? Obviously you've been doing this for the last few years, but why have you decided now to start documenting?
I was going to start it a few years ago, and the funny thing is I've got a lot of friends, like entrepreneurial kind of young friends, and a lot of them started building the personal brands years ago. Most people, I think Reese Wabara said it on X, slagging off people that build personal brands, right? And I get his point, because most people come and try and do this first. So they'll try to put themselves out there first. They'll try and gain a following first. And through the following, that's how they make their money, basically. You know, they'll flex, or they're doing it backwards. And I had people trying to, encourage me to do that, because I've always been good at talking. I've always been good at articulating my knowledge. And people are like, bro, you should do a course. You should start on Instagram. You should start doing content. You should start doing reels. And this was years ago. This has been like the last 3 or 4 years of my life. I've had people come to me to try and get me to be the face of their stuff. I've had it. I've been there, but I think when the right time is, and there never is a complete right time. But I've been a part of probably the best, like what we've done over the last 2.5 years at Cryptonary in terms of changing lives. Like the job of somebody in my position when it comes to sharing knowledge, that's the position I put myself in by being an analyst and doing education and putting trade setups out for Cryptonary. That was my job, right? It's to impact people's lives positively through the vehicle of cryptocurrency. When you put it in that context, there's nobody that can touch us, or it has the ability to touch us. Like, we've blown expectations. Like, truly, when you see what we've put out there on our track record over the last 2.5 years, it's incredible. And I was a part of that team.
So what would you say your trading strategy is, and is that different from maybe other people in the space? Like, why does it work for you? Can you talk a little bit about that?
From top down, it starts from top down. You have to understand the context, because the price of these assets are determined based on the belief systems of the participants of that market and what they think about that asset. If they believe the asset is overvalued, people will sell the asset and the price will drop. If they believe the asset is undervalued, they will buy the asset and the price will rise. That's, in a nutshell, easy. But the thing is, say for example you take Bitcoin, and the price of Bitcoin is $100,000, right? Or it's like between $100,000 and $105,000, and it stays going sideways for like, a couple of months, right? And there's no change. Bitcoin's price can remain the same. The context around Bitcoin, the world around Bitcoin can change. So, I don't know, an easy example would be to say maybe a war breaks out in the Middle East. People don't want to keep their money in a risky asset when war breaks out. They would want to move it into a safe haven asset or move it into low risk investments. So when geopolitical tensions rise, Bitcoin's price will drop. Bitcoin's price is fair, and it has been fair for 2 months because it's moved sideways. But the exterior context of the world has changed, so now Bitcoin is overvalued in that context. People don't want to hold Bitcoin in a context where there's war going on, so the price will drop, people will sell Bitcoin. Or you can have Bitcoin in a context that's positive for cryptocurrency and risk assets, which would be like a loosening in Fed policy, and maybe interest rates are being cut like what we're seeing now. Maybe there's lots of liquidity in the system, and Bitcoin's price could potentially rise significantly to the upside. Even though the context of the market is really, really nice and it's really perfect for Bitcoin, it could go too much. People could get too greedy, the prices could go too high, everything could become too overheated. And in that context, Bitcoin's now overvalued. So for me, what I'm trying to understand is from the top down is what's the context of the market from a macro point of view? What environment is the global markets in? Is it supportive of cryptocurrency and risk assets? Is it not? If it is supportive of crypto and risk assets, then I'd look to be a buyer in that market. I'd look to try and get positioned on the long side. And I'm looking for levels, key levels to the downside. What I'm then doing is looking at charts predominantly, and things like market mechanics and so on and so forth, and like liquidation heat maps. And I'm not trying to make this sound too complex. It doesn't have to be like this, and people do things differently. Or you could look for alpha in the markets and look for assets from a fundamental perspective. The good thing about trading in crypto and investing as a whole is you can make it your own. For example, I know people I used to work with, and still sort of do, they would both take two individuals, right? One focuses purely on macroeconomics. He's brilliant, unbelievable at dissecting the economy and understanding the cause and effect relationship between the macroeconomy and then crypto. He makes most of his judgment calls based on that because that's what he understands and that's what he likes to research, that's what he likes to spend his day looking into. Then I have somebody else who would be unbelievable at fundamental analysis. He understands tokenomics, he understands the business side of cryptocurrency so well. Both are wildly successful and both are brilliant, and I would listen to both of them, but they both look at the market completely differently. I would say the best approach to adopt is one that sort of has a little slice of all. But that's the best thing about it. It's like there's aspects of this game that I enjoy and I warm to because it resonates with me. And there's aspects of the game that I don't really warm to, and I don't have to apply it to my trading. But you always want to look for edges. You always want to kind of refine the style and refine the strategy as well. And that's what trading really is. It's having the ability to be able to kind of gather as much knowledge as possible, understand the knowledge, understand the cause and effect relationships between all of this knowledge that you have, and then curating a strategy that you can adhere to and be disciplined around, and then refining that strategy over your lessons in the markets through the losses and through the wins. That's the game.
So who are some people in the industry you look up to and why?
I look up to the likes of Jamie Dimon, Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, but just the way that they run their organizations, run their operations, their philosophies on investing, long-term thinking, big picture thinking. So when you take Tiger Woods in golf, unbelievable. Michael Jordan, LeBron, Messi, Ronaldo. I think Warren Buffett is greater at investing than anybody else is at what they do. That's my
Strong statement.
It is, yeah, but it's true. I think he started off, and I don't want to, it's either $10,000 or $50,000. And when you look at the top 10 richest people in the world, it's Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, people like that. They've built businesses that, you know, billions of people around the world use. And then people are their customers. Warren Buffett's in the top 10 richest people, surrounded by people that have built companies. So there's no other investors in the top 10 richest people. It's only Warren Buffett. And he's done that from analyzing the market and making unbelievable bets, like on Apple and Coca-Cola and so on and so forth. Like, he's seen, using his ability to be able to analyze businesses and understand value investing better than anybody, he's positioned himself at the perfect time in some of the best investments in history. A game where, you know, 90% of people don't make it. It's very difficult, it's very hard. And he's amongst the richest people in history. Not solving problems, not being innovative, just purely from making bets. And I think it's incredible. He's not really, he's not as respected. In our world, he's respected, but people in the outside world, I don't really think people understand how
how crazy his career achievements are. What I love about boxing gyms is they're in places like this. So you can think you're as fancy as you want, you can make as much money as you want. If you come into a boxing gym, you're more often than not coming to like a rugged, real place. When no one gives a fuck who you are, they just want to beat you up. So the coach is there that does the sparring, and he's going to see me in here with the camera, and I'm starting sparring on Monday. He's definitely going to get all of his boys to fuck me up. Who's this guy coming in with a camera? That's what they're going to be thinking. 24/7 access. Reality TV.
Misfits next.
Whoa, they don't want that smoke. Make me look good today, Paulie, yeah? Ideally, when you come back up, lighter and faster and more fit, because this is not good. This. You're probably going to ask why. Why would you push yourself out there, build a brand, create content, step into the public eye if you're already a successful trader? I used to think the exact same thing when I saw other people do it. And to be honest, this was genuinely never the plan. I was happy building quietly in the background, growing capital, living peacefully, staying low key. But I think some of us are wired for more than just stacking money. Some of us are built for a purpose-driven life. And I know I'm one of those people. Because if I'm honest, trading lacks purpose. It isolates you, it's selfish, it's player versus player. You're trying to take money off the table and put it in your own pocket. And I'm not gonna lie, a part of that I love the competition, I love the game, but I've always loved helping people too. And early on I struggled. I wasn't some prodigy, I didn't pick it up quickly. It took me years to really understand what I was doing. And the industry didn't help at all, and if anything, it set me back. Misleading marketing, half-baked education, false promises from those positioning themselves as mentors. It's tough. And for the last 2.5 years, I've worked at one of the largest crypto research and education platforms in the world. I've made good money. I've seen six figures print in a matter of days. And yeah, that feels great. But you know what feels better? Posting analysis, posting education, and watching somebody with less experience use it to learn, grow, and make money themselves. And seeing their confidence build, seeing the gratitude, that hits differently. This space needs more people who are actually good at what they do, who can communicate it clearly, and who lead by example. That's what this next phase of my career is about. Because I promise you, one thing that gets you up in the morning easier than profit is purpose. That's what's good about this instead of the gym though, because I can't go on my phone, I can't look at anything, you know what I mean? You're just doing this, focusing on this. In the gym nowadays, you're always on your phone.
Yeah, you do, especially weights. You do a little bit.
Yeah, you do a little bit on your phone, you're not. This is like meditating.
Because you're supposed to rest in between sets, innit?
Yeah.
As you're resting automatically.
Yeah, you just go on your phone.
Yeah.
And everyone's got their program on their phone, so they go on their phone, look at their program, and then someone's messaged them, and then you're talking about something. And you're like, shit, I've got to do my dumbbell bench press.
And then the 1 hour session ends up 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But here you come in, and it's just me and you. Have I snapped them? Yeah, that was my job. No, joiner, but we put the plasterboard up. I put fucking thousands of miles of that shit on.
You qualified joiner?
Qualified, fully qualified.
So you'll be able to fix my speedball then?
I probably can. Yeah, I will. Yeah, what do you need it to do?
I need on this, because it's on a wall like this. I need a wooden frame, 2 wooden frames to go down it, and then attach the actual frame, everything, because the walls are shocking. If the 2 wooden frames are thick enough and strong, then when you're doing the speedball, it won't shake all over the place.
Right, that's gonna be fucking. I haven't picked up tools in a while, so if it falls off.
Oh my god.
What we need to kind of understand is the purpose of Deliverance is this. There's like a sea of information. Is that a whiteboard pen? Yeah. There's a sea of information in the form of data, research, analysis, and that sea is everything. That's macro. It's charts, so TA. It's on chain. It's mechanics, the mechanics of the market, it's sentiment, and that's the ocean of information that's out there. And when you just start out, or if you're a trader, that information can get very intense. It can become something that's very hard to not only comprehend, but also hard to consolidate into an idea, a hypothesis. So your job as a trader really is to go into all of these different components of information. Like you need to go to macro, you need to go to charts, you need to go to on-chain, mechanics, sentiment, and you're using them all to bring them into an idea of where you think the market's going to go next. Depending on your time frame, depending on your personality and the way you see things, the things you're interested in, you're going to have these weighted differently. If you're a position trader, so you're long-term, if you're a long-term trader, you want to hold positions for, I don't know, a couple of years, a couple of quarters, maybe a few months, you're going to focus much more on macro. You're going to focus much more on what global liquidity is doing. You're going to focus much more on the geopolitical sentiment. You're going to focus much more on macro data, because that's what truly drives the big capital, which is responsible for the overall market trend. Yeah, so the macro trend, the larger trend. So if you're a long-term trader, you're going to focus predominantly more on macro. You might focus quite a lot on chain and maybe sentiment, right? You might not really look too much at charts. They might just give you a little bit of guidance as to like key price points or whatever. If you are a short-term trader, so you've got the two kind of extremes. If you're short-term, like, I don't know, scalp trader, right? Scalp traders, as much as I don't think that there's a huge amount of success that can be gained from doing it, I mean, I know some people that do it well. It's very difficult. You know, you're not going to focus too much on macro, because macro data comes out every week, it comes out every month, and you're going to look to be in the position for, you know, between 1 to 5 minutes. So if you're holding between, I don't know, years to months, you're going to be more weighted on that side. If you're a scalper, you're going to be looking more at mechanics and charts, right? So your job, you still need to understand what's going on in the macro and sentiment, of course, but already you can see that wave of information, that ocean of information can be consolidated and structured differently for different individuals. Deliverance's goal is to essentially use experienced people like myself who have been doing it for 6 years. I've got 6 years of experience doing this. I've already done this at a high level in terms of sharing my opinion, for it to be scrutinized, for it to be fucking, you know, weatherproofed by people that are looking at it and seeing it. I've already been there and done it. And as a new trader, some traders don't know whether they're short term, some traders don't know whether they're long term. And all of this information is scattered everywhere between different characters, different individuals, different people that put too much weight on one thing, put too much weight on the other thing. Deliverance's goal, so this is where deliverance sits, let's put a D-V-L-R, is here. So we go out into the market every single day, and we consolidate all of this information correctly for the customers and package it in the form of video and written, and I'd say live content. It's also in the form of analysis and education. So it's analysis first. So we'll analyze the market. We'll put out trade opportunities. We'll put out educational videos based on the trades and the analysis. And I truly believe that it's a great value add to the market. I think that if you have the experience and you get things right, which I've proven that I do, I get things wrong, everybody does. I've proven that, you know, we can help people and grow people. There were people working in the cryptonary communities and people that follow me on X, for example, where they come in knowing nothing, like really have no understanding of markets to the point where they're taking trades and actually making money. Were they making money consistently? I don't know, but they've gained confidence to be able to go out into the market and start creating their own ideas and, you know, mapping out their own thesis and starting to understand this stuff themselves. It's a city close to home, really. I was going to go to London, but I used to spend a lot of time down there and it's hectic. Manchester, I knew a lot of people here anyway.
naturally more affordable. It was the best decision I've ever made, I think. I love it here. It's a good city.
You see yourself staying in Manchester?
I want to be a globetrotter, Tom. I want to get about. Oh my God, he got run over by a delivery guy. Now I want to get around a little bit. Maybe this way. I want to get around a little bit. I don't want to stay anywhere. I couldn't be in the best place in the world for 12 months of the year. Like, I have to sort of move around a bit to keep myself sane. I've been to some amazing places for long periods of time, but I always do find myself coming back to Manchester and back to the UK.
So what creators do you watch? Like, who inspires you?
I think the usual ones, to be honest, like E-Man. It's good watching back. You probably watch him as well, and you go right the way back, how he started off. He was just chipping away. Now he's, changed his whole life, and he looks after his mum. I love that sort of stuff. Mike Thurston, I think he's funny as hell. I like him. Chris Williamson. It's funny because I think yesterday, we're starting YouTube now. We're starting our journey now, and he's put on this yesterday. Is it 1,000 episodes?
Yeah, 1,000 podcasts.
Yeah, and you can see how he started, and it's like now he's got Matthew McConaughey on the set of Interstellar, just from chipping away and starting. So it's good to see that sort of stuff when you're embarking on this. They're the sort of main ones that spark curiosity on whether I can do it or not, and trying to take that sort of quality into this space is important, I think, because they've set the standard on how to film, the camera quality, everything. I don't think there's too many people that are going to talk the truths on markets, crypto, trading, all of it, and how difficult it is, be real about it at the level of quality that they're at. And that's, I think, what we're trying to achieve.
What are you trying to achieve? Like, what is your goal with YouTube?
I think whenever I first started, there's a lot of traders on YouTube and stuff, and some of them did do a good job. But a lot of it's like glitzy and glamoury. They've got Ferraris, they've got Lamborghinis, they're going to Dubai, they're going to Miami and LA and all that bullshit. Like, thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah, they're going like Miami, LA, focusing more on lifestyle rather than substance. And I remember I used to be like, I just want to watch somebody that's doing it. You know what I mean? I want to watch somebody what's it like actually being in the charts? What's it like actually thinking about making a decision? What's this guy reading? How's he living his week? So I think the purpose is, if there's any young guys like me or people, it doesn't have to be young, anybody that's sort of similar to me who's trying to get into this properly, and you want to know the truth on it, how difficult it is, and what it's actually like to live the life of doing it, and getting pure value and substance in an entertaining way. That's your job, to make things entertaining. That's the purpose, because I think in this industry, trading, whether it's retail, FX, the signals bullshit, all of that stuff, it's all fluff. There's very little substance, unless you pay for access to the substance, which more often than not is shit anyway. You know what I mean? Most of the substance people sell out there is bollocks. Like my first year, I think I borrowed thousands of pounds off family friends to pay for courses that were absolutely bollocks. And they drive traffic to their courses and their products through falsifying results, flaunting the lifestyle, and you arrive in their products, and their products are half-ass bullshit that are just teaching you stuff you can read in candlestick analysis books. Like, there's no lateral thinking, there's no effort being put into anything. So that's what we want to change. And I want to make sure the YouTube that I'm putting out, all the videos I'm putting out on Instagram, X, I've been doing this on X for however long. I was doing it for Cryptonary. I want to make sure that you don't really need to pay for anything if you want to have enough value that's going to protect you in the markets. That's the main goal, really. You can come to my platforms, learn, understand enough to be able to navigate confidently and effectively without actually having to break your bank. Because my bank got broke in the first few years, and I don't think it's fair, really, because you pay to play anyway in trading. You might get lucky early on. You might have a lucky spell, but some of the guys I know that had really lucky periods to begin with are some of the ones that are fucked now, because they got the wrong expectations. They got too greedy. They got egos. They started moving around the world, buying all sorts of LV, Rolexes, apartments, living a life that they weren't. The money was like, it's like Jim Rohn says, if you get given $1 million, you better become a millionaire very quickly. I've seen kids make a lot of fucking money because of meme coins luck. Their talent, their knowledge, their ability to manage, look after that capital was not in alignment with the amount of money they had. So you just seen over the course of a few years, it just depleted and depleted and depleted. They're back to square one. They were wasting time, fucking around, not doing the right things, not doing the work,
because they were enjoying the money and not putting the work in. So yeah, ideally people come to my pages, people come to my X account, people come to the YouTube, and you're left with value for free.